But now we're going to get more into like a conversational video, which is this one's from Erad Prime. Is the RSI Arrastra worth a buy? And he says, hell yes. Okay, let's see why. I'm going to turn the volume down a little bit.
What should we think of the Arrastra, the new concept ship from Rocket Space Industries that is currently for sale? Hello, this is the Eradicator here.
Because I have my opinions, but my opinions are really, I don't know what to think right now. So I'm curious what he thinks.
So, of course, it's always difficult to judge a concept, given its very nature, because a concept is always ever-changing, right? That's what it is. It's a concept. It's the very definition of a concept. And the history of Star Citizen has often shown us that the reality often changes the initial vision. So that's something that I wanted to remind everyone here. And you guys need to make sure that you take everything here with a grain of salt. So first, we're going to talk about the price of the Arrastra.
Yo, it was expensive. $575 is insane for a bigger mole.
$525 with fresh money, $575 with store credits, or money that is not fresh, I should say. It's expensive, but it's actually quite close to an Orion currently sold at $650. We'll talk about the Orion a little later. In terms of capacity, well, it has a 64 SCU of capacity, but that is the internal capacity. However, you can also put in some...
Practically a Carrack. I think it's bigger and more functional than one. Its turrets placements seem better even.
Cargo boxes outside, and that's going to be 512 SCU. That is really a lot. Way more than the Orion that is scheduled to have 384 SCU. That, again, is probably going to change. On top of that, the Arrastra, just like the Orion, is going to have a refinery on board. That's going to make us just not having to go to other refineries anymore. We'll just be able to refine our own materials in the ship.
And again, I don't know. It's a 5-minute video for him, so I don't know if he's going to get into it. I'd like to. The big thing that I need to know specifically about the refinery and other things are everything in mining has a thing it does well, and then it has a downside. It has a buff and a debuff. You know, some things have more buffs than debuffs and whatever, but what are these lasers going to be buffed? And what are they going to be debuffing? And what about the refinery is different than that of the Expanse, the Galaxy, the Orion? How are they going to be differentiated from each other? Do they even have to be? I think everyone's claiming right now that the mining laser will take in and it immediately gets refined. There's no raw aspects of the mining but I don't think that should ever be a thing with this, because that's a huge negative if raw materials are used in crafting at some point. That would be a big mistake.
Ship, have those on boxes, and then put on our ship and sell them directly to local landing zones, and that is going to be saving us quite a bit of money here. Also, it will have 3 lasers of size 3. All on
you know, and don't take any offense to this new Dulski, because this isn't like meant to be mean. What I said wasn't a prompt for you guys to say maybe my opinion is it'll be like this. It's more of a prompt of we really need to wait for the Q&A for them to tell us what they want to do, right? I think that they're purposefully waiting till after this is over, the sale is over, to tell you whether or not you actually wanted to buy the ship. Because if they don't put the Q&A out during the ship sale, when does the sale end? Today? If it ends today is Thursday, then they might be waiting to put the Q&A out until after. So they've gotten your money, and then you could decide whether or not you want to melt it later. Right? And the other thing is they probably don't know, and I think we all know that this ship is years away, given the lineup of large ships that they need to get done.
turret, which are going to be able to move around the ship. We're on pretty much all of its angles here, which is a huge advantage because we're not going to have to move the ship in order to be mining, which is a big advantage here over the mole. Another big advantage over the mole here is that those...
It's a big advantage over the mole if you ignore the fact that the ship is massive. So the ship will be getting in the way as well, I feel like, and the size of the ship. If I'm over rocks here, but the next rock I need to mine is over there, I don't think I'm going to be able to mine it.
Turrets are remote, so we don't need to go outside, and we don't need to be exposed to the environment, which can be very hostile sometimes. When you are on the mole, you can be exposed to heat or intense cold. Well, that's not going to be the case here in the Arrastra. The interior also looks very nice, cozy and comfortable, which is not the case in the mole, and also will have enough space in its garage for 2 mining vehicles. So what about the Orion, you may ask? Well, it was said by CIA.
What about the Orion? I mean, the Orion is just going to turn into something else, I think, at this point. It's gotten so large that they're going to make it its own unique thing and sell it for a lot of money.
Several times that the Orion is going to be 2 times bigger than the original concept, so probably the capacity is also going to be significantly higher than the original 384 SCUs which were pitched. Now,
my favorite thing is somebody typed in chat the Orion coming in 2026. That is the most conservative estimate I've ever seen on when it will come. There's no shot it comes in 2026. 0% chance. We're not going to see it until 2030.
Of course, the Orion has had an increase of price. I'm pretty sure it's going to increase again. We could even see the Orion getting closer to the $1,000 mark. Now, I think that the Arrastra is a great replacement for the original Orion, which means that the original Orion is going to probably go a class above. And of course, $525 or $575 is expensive. Not definitely everybody will be able to afford it. But I also think that this ship definitely makes the mole obsolete, which is sold at $315. I think that if you have a mole, you should definitely upgrade to an Arrastra. Plus, the mole is definitely a loaner for the Arrastra as well.
I don't think you should ever tell anybody to spend money to upgrade. I never agree with that statement. But if you have the disposable income and you're obsessed with mining, you're going to end up getting a mole as a loaner anyway. So
you're not going to lose your mole, and once the Arrastra comes in, you are going to have something much better, which in my opinion is going to be a great deal because the mole is absolutely terrible for the price that it has given its features. Only 96 SCU, no onboard refinery. The turrets are exposing the miners to the all-south environment, right? So it's really not great at all. You have to move the...
I love them all.
Ship all the time as well because the turrets don't really have the right ship in the right angle. So I'm pretty sure that the Arrastra is going to also see an increase of price, probably around the 750.
I don't want to make any claims, but I gather that Erad doesn't do a ton of mining, maybe just a little bit. The mole is not perfect, and certainly some of the things that he points out are the negatives of it, but I don't think they're as bad as he's making them sound.
$50 mark. So when is the Arrastra
there are
going
a lot
to
of
be
positives
done?
about them all.
Definitely after the Polaris, because the Polaris will set the standard for the RSI range. It's possible that we are going to...
Mole should be 280-ish, and the Arrastra should be 350-ish. Do you just hear... Do you read again what you just wrote about a video game that has no gameplay that hasn't come out yet? Somebody should be spending that kind of money on a spaceship, that all of which are incomplete. And especially one that they just drew a fucking picture of.
See the Arrastra maybe before the end of 2024 because we...
Like it's over, man. We've normalized the prices of ships being these exorbitant amounts, and thinking that any of that is even remotely okay is what blows my mind. Like, reading that post in chat has nothing to do with the person who posted it. It's the fact that we think it's okay.
is shape, I believe,
enough to have
during
that conversation.
the Citizen Con. Those ships that are going to be worked on by CIG, and that will be coming out in the future relatively soon. At least we saw the silhouette, right? Last reminder, as always, right? Only spend the money that you have.
No, I get the point. Like the Prospector's 150, the Vulture's 175, like all the prices within the Prospector's 150. Again, for a video game that can barely be described as a video game. Your entry level into mining, a rock pickaxe, if you will, in a normal MMO, a stone pickaxe, is $150. That's what I'm talking about here. Your stone pickaxe you have to buy on the website for $150.
You don't have to spend all that real money because that ship will be available in the game with in-game money eventually further down the line. So it's always good to remember that. That is what I had to say about the Arrastra. I'm really excited about it. I definitely upgraded my mold.
Now that would be the Rock DS. Well, actually, that would be your multi-tool, right? Yeah, your multi-tool. But I think you get the point that I'm trying to say. It's a little bit... We've been normalized to the prices. I've absolutely have said a similar statement as you. But when you really think about it, how crazy is it that like 150 for the entry-level mining ship, right? Nuts.
To the Arrastra. I think that's really a wise decision if you can afford to do that. It's going to gain a lot of value, and it's definitely an immensely superior ship on the paper at least.
Yeah, but it's a community-funded game. Because of the community funding, that's why it's not a game. That's why it has never been a game, and the ships are prioritized over everything. You want to talk about the RSI Arrastra and why this says worth a buy and hell yes? Because the game is community-funded. So they made a ship that was a no-brainer in your mind that you would have to buy. Instead of focusing on what the game experience would be like. It seems like everybody who told you that you need to buy the ship, the people that are on the screen, they are talking about the game in a way that you can tell that they don't mine and they don't understand even the direction the game is in now and maybe even where it's going in the future. So yes, I understand it's community. I understand all of it. You don't have to explain that to me. But it seems to me like I do have to explain my point of view sometimes, where it's not just like this angry, super mad, like thing. It's just funny at this point. It's just it's become it's a joke, is what it is, right? It's a joke that we are this normal. Like it's just this normal to talk about a mining ship that we actually know nothing about at $575. And that is a normal, everyday IAE ship sale. You know, no point in even having a conversation about it because it's normal. It happens every year, right? So it's really interesting, you know? Yeah, and League of Legends skins are $20. It's normal now. Yep. But $20 versus, you know, hundreds, if not thousands, is, you know, money is relative to everybody, but I do find it to be just, it's mind-blowing sometimes to sit and think about that for a little bit, right? And it's all okay, but that's how I see the Arrastra right now, is exactly how Erad sees it. Is like, how do you not buy this thing? First off, it's never coming out. As in, it is going to come out, but not for a very long time. You get the loaner for the ships you already have anyway. Might as well get it. And when you do get it, this thing sounds so overpowered. Why not?
Least. But let me know, guys, in the comment section down below what you think about the Arrastra. Did you take one? Did you upgrade one of your ships for one? I would like to know everything. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you like this video, let me know with a little thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe for more regular Star Citizen content. A big shout out to my Patreon and YouTube members who make this video possible, including Ducky2Ducker, Dr. Fabin, Zero Crusher, and Deplorable Infidel. I've been Iran. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Nice. So, you know, I'm with Erad on this. I am with Erad on this. It just seems like it's a no-brainer to get if you have the store credit, right? If you don't have the store credit, it's so much money that it's kind of crazy. So it's entirely up to you what you want to do. I could tell you I got it knowing nothing. And without the Q&A, based off of the whole ship sale, you know almost nothing about it other than 3 size 3 lasers. What's a size 3 laser? Who knows? A refinery. What does the refinery do? Who knows? And that it has turrets. That was the biggest selling feature for me. I forgot to get the skin, actually. So I probably have a few minutes to grab it right now. So I'll jump on that. But what was I saying? Because I got distracted by the skin thing. The one actually selling feature for the ship is the turrets, the defensive turrets. No mining ship has defensive turrets. So, yeah. The duality of man? No, the skin is... That is what I think should be there. I think we should be buying cosmetics, not buying gameplay. So I've always said that. Right? But that's where we're at. I need to know more about the Q&A. I'm probably going to end up melting it if they don't really say anything good in the Q&A. And we'll have to see. Like, I want to know... I want each mining ship and each mining situation to be exactly situational. Like, it totally makes sense to pull the Arrastra out for this situation. We found a bunch of these type of rocks. The size 3 lasers will work really well with them, and so on, right? That's what I would like to see. But we won't know anything until the Q&A.